Hey, my name is Jack Nicholson and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I want to talk about what's the chance of a house price crash in 2025. In this video, we're going to look at all of the factors that could contribute to a house price crash and what's the likelihood of them happening. In 2008, we had the last crash and it really did hit some areas. In fact, some areas haven't truly recovered ever since. It made sense during the pandemic that house prices would go down, and they did for a very, very short time. We had businesses shut, we had people furloughed, and everyone was just sitting there with not much to do. It didn't make logical sense that prices would go up. And then they did. They absolutely boomed. And often after a boom, you get a bust. So let's talk about what's likely to happen for the rest of 2025. And if you're new around here, do make sure you subscribe to the channel over there and hit that bell notification. We're on the way to 43,000 subscribers now, which is absolutely crazy. And you'll get new property content on house prices, on interest rates, on investing in property every single day by subscribing. And let's get some more views on this video by smashing like, tickling like, doing something to the like button. That really helps with the YouTube algorithm and really help the channel grow. So thanks to everyone that does that. So a house price crash, it's really something that's talked about in the media all the time. People want to see house prices go down. In fact, a lot of you that watch this channel have the belief that house prices are going to drop in the next few months. And maybe you've watched other popular YouTubers as well that also talk about house prices going down. And so let's break down all the different reasons why house prices could go down. And look, nobody knows for sure what is going to happen. You can make an educated guess, but it's good to know what's going to possibly happen, and then you can make your own decision on where you feel the market is going to end up. So one of the biggest contributing factors that could hit the market is a recession in the UK. Now, the UK government, Labour, feel like they're trying to push us into recession. And I did a video last week where I was really frustrated about the increase in inflation that we recently had. And a lot of that is due to government policy. We've got energy costs that are rising again, and the government has no real policy to help us. In Spain, for example, they took tax off of some of the energy costs, and they helped people bring their energy costs down and bring their monthly costs down by making public transport cheaper for people to use. I haven't really seen much in the UK where they did that. They had that price cap for a short while, but nothing new. And what's also happened is we've had an increase in national insurance costs. We've had an increase in business rates, and these things are contributing to inflation coming back. That could make people like you and I spend less and could put us into a recession. Now, if we have a recession, then people are going to lose their jobs. That means they're less likely to buy property, and that could cause house prices to drop. So job numbers, recession, that's something we've got to keep an eye on. And the numbers seem a little bit fudged at the moment. Somehow we did have a little bit of growth in the last quarter. A lot of people don't believe those stats though. Rates, interest rates are going to make a big decision in house prices. And that's because when rates are going up, people will delay their purchasing decision. And we had some news only weeks ago where Barclays was saying the Bank of England are going to cut rates 4 times by the end of the year. Then we got that high inflation data and they changed their mind. And now a lot of the markets are saying we might only get one more interest rate cut this year. No one knows if that's going to be summer or towards the end of the year. Now that could mean that some buyers and people that want to purchase pause their buying decision. That's not great because we do have an increase in listings of properties at the moment. So all these extra listings coming on, and if you don't get the buyers to match up, those listings will start to cut their price, and that will mean house prices ultimately drop over 2025. Just quickly, what is a house price crash? Most people say the definition of a house price crash is a 20% drop in house prices over a year or so. And so if the house prices are going down and they drop more than 20%, then you can say it's a crash. Any less than that, people would call a correction. But different people say different things. That's what I'm going to stick with. 20% down is what we're going to see. Now, house prices are down 29% in central London. So we're talking places like Chelsea, Belgravia, Kensington. They're being hit really, really hard at the high end of the market. What could also cause house prices to go down is an oversupply. Now, we do have hints of that at the moment. And so right now, we do have a lot more listings for sale at the moment. And there are more listings than buyers coming into the market. That at some point could cause problems. Now, what we're seeing right now initially, though, is these new listings, people aren't desperate and they are putting premiums. They're asking the highest asking prices ever on Rightmove at the moment, but things could change quite quickly. Sentiment could change, and if they start to see all the other 3-bedroom terraced houses around them cutting their prices, they'll have two options: take it off the market or not sell the property. And so the other option is also to drop the price as well. So oversupply could happen. We are seeing more listings at this moment in time. The next thing to consider is lenders not lending. And one thing you should consider and have a look at is in Japan, there's all the things that are needed to have a credit crisis over there, and that could hit the whole world. Lenders, if they get freaked out for any reason, they could become stricter with lending, and that could mean that a lot of people can't get money even if they want to. And that's what happened in 2008. People just weren't lending money, banks froze, and that meant that prices dropped, and that's why the market was an absolute disaster at that period of time. Now, that isn't happening right now, but it could happen. So keep an eye on what's happening in Japan. And if the UK goes into a recession and people stop paying their mortgages, that would impact UK lenders as well. And the last thing is low demand. And so what I mean by that is there a low demand for properties at the moment? Are there just not buyers in the market? And right now, buyers are low. They're not historically low, they're not 2008 low, but the market is quieter. Now, May data does sound like it's been a little better, so we'll see how that works out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these things all together could cause a house price crash in 2025. But what's my feeling on this? Where do I think we're going to be? Well, so far, we've seen a positive start to 2025. And I don't think you're going to get a house price crash in 2025. I do think that the market is going to be slow. All indications say that the market is going to be slow for the next 9 or so months. And I think ultimately at the end of that, we will see a fairly flat market in 2025. Now, no one knows for sure. I don't have a crystal ball. People can change, markets can change. But I would say, this is what I'm estimating. I think that house prices will rise 1% up. We can come back and look at this video at the end of the year. Could be totally wrong, could be 5% down, could be 10% down. But I think there'll be ultimately 1% up. And I think that what could happen is we could have more of a stirring of a recession. That could cut rates, and that could get some people coming into the market that want to buy. And I also think that the sellers are stubborn at the moment. If they don't want to drop their price, then house prices aren't going to crash. And so that is a consideration as well. There's a lot of people that will just test the market and maybe sell, maybe don't sell. So yeah, I don't think we are going to have a house price crash in 2025. I do think it's going to be a relatively flat market. If you want to, like say that really is house prices are down, because inflation is going to be around 3.5% for the year. So if we only go up 1% in real terms, house prices are down. That's my prediction. Let me know in the comments what you think will happen. Do smash like, do share the video, and also check out all the other content as well on the channel including this video right here.